Hello everyone, welcome to season 3. This year we'll be doing some canoeing around, visit Newfoundland for the first time, attend a few Airstream Club rallies, and rekindle with our friends.
For this episode, we will show you our fabulous winter in Arizona. It was great missing the Canadian winter, and we'll definitely do it again.
That's for sure. As per our previous episode, we really enjoyed Mesa and its area. From January to end of March, we managed a few additional hikes, visited different local venues, acquired new skills, and most of all, made a bunch of new friends and enjoyed life to the max. One of our first outing was to visit Goldfield Ghost Town. It's a small reconstructed village near a gold mine that used to be in operation back in 1890. Mining was great until it eventually started to degrade, and then the town couldn't survive. They tried to restart it several times without success between 1910 and 1926. Now it's an attraction village with many shops, a saloon, a simulated mine to visit, gunfights, ghost tours, and even a small railroad. We visited during the week and before noon. It was relatively quiet, but I can imagine the weekends being extremely busy. It was worth the trip. While in the same area, we headed over to Tortilla Flat. Tortilla Flat is the last surviving stagecoach stop along the Apache Trail. It used to be a gold expedition outpost back in 1847. Then in 1904, it really started to grow due to the Roosevelt Dam being built. Today it has a population of 6. Yes, you heard me right, 6. While in town, you have to visit the saloon for lunch. The inside of the place is plastered with dollar bills from everywhere, mostly US of course. The bar has saddles instead of seats, and the food and beer was really good. Of course you have the shops offering trinkets to buy. It's such a unique place that I did buy a few souvenirs from there. Past Tortilla Flat, we decided to head over to the Roosevelt Dam via the unpaved portion of the Apache Trail. At first it's all good, a wide winding sandy path. Then you reach a point where you have to descend from the plateau and go down about 1,000 feet via a very narrow steep road. I was happy to be on the right side close to the mountains while we were going down. I'm not a nervous driver, but that was way worse than Mount Blue Sky in Colorado. Once down, it goes back to the wide sandy path with a few nice lookouts until you reach the Roosevelt Dam. The dam is officially called the Theodore Roosevelt Dam, and it was built on the Salt River between 1905 and 1911 with a height of 357 feet or 109 meters. Its generating power is 36 megawatts, enough to power a small town of about 25,000 homes. On the way back to Mesa, we took the safer route using the paved road. It was well worth it with very nice vistas. On one of those hot days, we decided to explore the area a bit more and took the road to Saguaro Lake. That place must be crazy in the summer as it has a lot of boat ramps. Then we continued north, and near Highway 87 we saw a herd of maybe 50 Mustangs wild horses. That was very unexpected and very cool. We didn't know about it. They are protected and considered descendants of the Spanish colonial era. On another occasion, we booked a Steamboat Cruise on Canyon Lake, about 40 minutes from Mesa, and we were treated to conflicting views being in the desert, but on a water reservoir. Kinda weird, but beautiful seeing the surrounding cliffs. Again, perfect activity for a hot day. Being a newbie desert resident, we decided to educate ourselves and visit the Boyce Thompson Arboretum. It contains over 20,000 desertic plants from all over the world spread out on 135 acres with beautiful trails in the Sonoran Desert. While strolling around, we encountered a couple of lizards and a few hummingbirds. I was happy not to see a scorpion or a snake. The site is a must visit, it is very beautiful, and we spent a few hours admiring the different plants, the scenery, and nature. As we were about 45 minutes from Mesa, we decided to have a late lunch at the Silver King Smokehouse in the town of Superior. The briskets and beer were very tasty. To get our hiking mojo back ahead of a tougher trail, we went hiking the moderate 3 miles or 4.5 kilometers Bulldog Saddle Trail in the Tonto National Forrest with a total elevation gain of 600 feet or 205 meters. This was a steady climb with a few sections of steeper inclines, but nothing crazy through the saguaro cacti. Reaching the top, which is at the saddle, it offers a superb view of the forest and surrounding mountains. Very picturesque. Next time, we'll do it again, but we'll extend it and make the loop. One thing to know, there are many possible connections on those trails. We've been using the All Trails app, and we never got lost. On a nice cooler day, we tackled the 4.1 miles or 6.6 kilometer moderate wave cave trail in the Superstition Wilderness. Everyone said it was a must-do, and we were not deceived. The beginning of the trail starts with a slow, steady pitch, but the last half hour goes from easy to hard with a steep, narrow path with a few rock climbing sections totaling roughly 750 feet or 260 meters climb. Again, without the climbing, it wouldn't be hiking, it would be a walk in the park. As we were climbing, the wind picked up and the temperature dropped, opening the scenery behind us. Reaching the top, you have a huge cavern, and at its edge, there is a rock formation that, seen from inside, looks like a wave. That's the name, Wave Cave. I couldn't resist surfing that rock. Going up was strenuous, but going down was tactical. Most of us had hiking poles helping us down from large boulders. As the others were saying, we also definitely recommend this trail. One of our last outings, we visited the Queen Creek Olive Mill and did a tour learning the process of making olive oil. It was very informative and we had a great lunch. Most of all, we spent a fortune buying tons of good stuff. We like that place very much. All in all, even though it's really tiring to live in a resort with tons of activities and constantly being with people, I think our social batteries have grown tenfold to accommodate being with so many people on a steady basis. They say social activities are very important when you get older. We kind of understand why now. However, it will be nice to go back to do some solo times in the middle of nowhere once again. Thanks for following us on our road trip escapades. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so and leave us a comment on how we're doing, or share some other locations we have not yet visited. We'd like to hear. Our next episode will focus on a road trip coming back home from Arizona. We've stopped at a few great American music cities. See you soon.